This video is going to show you a solo Conquest Master Conduit mission being done. So far we've had Devil's Lair Expert, Dark Priestess Expert, which I've cleared both. Now today I've cleared Master Conquest Conduit. So here's my recommendations for it. Before I go into it, I'll just tell you quickly, this is not a very good mission. It's poorly designed for solo. It's not very good. But what I will tell you is the next mission, look out for. It's going to be a very exciting, good mission to do. Master Conquest Inverted Spire. And to be honest, Grandmaster Conquest Whisper and Grandmaster Delve, they're going to be fantastic missions to solo. But this one is an odd one out and is not very good and it's very uninteresting. And I'll tell you why that is after we go through it all. So modifiers first, and then we go into the build. The mission is 330. You just need to, get around that level. Don't look at this mission until you get around 330. Don't be trying to solo it under leveled. I don't recommend it. It's already a very slow mission. It's only going to be slower even still. Get to around about 330, then decide to do this. So just to state, I am over leveled, but it doesn't matter, by the way. We're capped. Doesn't matter that I'm over leveled. So this doesn't mean a thing. I'm 18 levels over. Doesn't matter. Right, mode modifiers. Fire team powered, boost and disable, time bonus, limited revives, counterfeit. So when ammo is on the floor, some of it's fake and will explode. I'll talk about this in a minute. Avant-garde, you need to use all Edge of Fate gear. Scourge 2, combatants with Banes are encountered more frequent. Galvanize 2, combatants are harder to stun. Champions are Barrier and Overload and you need to spec for them. Battlefield promotion, these are the Banes that promote, well, sort of similar to Banes. That's exactly what it is, isn't it, really? And the Banes are Screebs and Caltrops. So you've got Screebs to consider and Caltrops. Alright, so you've had the information. Oh, and then obviously this one, Volatile Shields trade-off. Your shields are stronger, but if they are broken, you become a walking time bomb. Your allies can defuse you. This modifier is a huge pain, because if you are solo, you cannot defuse yourself unless there's something that I'm missing, as in there might be a cheese around it, but I don't believe there is. So this is a massive problem to this run. If your shields are broken, you are dead. You basically have less health in this mission when you are solo. If you're playing in a fire team, it's no problem. Somebody can defuse you and shoot you or whatever it might be. This modifier is very well designed for a fire team. For solo, they forgot. Somebody somewhere forgot that, people might want to solo this, and it's just poorly designed. There's a lot I can say about it, and I'll say it in the run. Alright, so you've had those. On with the recommendation build. Well, I know it's boring, but this is what it is, and you really need to dial in and lock in for this mission, because you're going to die a lot if you don't. Arctine, Fists of Havoc is what I recommend, not T-Crash. Rally Barricade, Seismic Strike, Pulse Grenade, Aspects of Stormscape Knockout, Fragments, Resistance. Shock is good for this. Just always is to run Shock for Jolt. Spark of Focus is a hard recommendation. And Spark of Frequency as well. Pairing that with Crest of Avalubai, because it's an Edge of Fate exotic, and you need some sort of health regen exotic on for sure for this. You really, really do want it, because if your shields break, you're dead. Solo, you're dead. I'm rocking high class ability and high weapons, that's it. Armor mods are on screen. There's nothing that you really need to know about it, because there'll be a dim link. Oh, there is. Double Void Resist. I highly recommend Double Void Resist and Concussive Dampener. This will save your life against the final boss. Weapons, Mint Retrograde. Do I need to explain why? Not really. It's maybe the best special weapon in the game. You use this weapon, absolutely. Third Iteration is definitely, if you can get it with Catalyst as well, man, it turns it into a mini Graviton Lance on top of what everything else it does. Unbelievably. Really good for this. Boom Slang, I recommend this. If you've got one with Jolt and Feedback, pop that on. It's not the end of the world if you don't, because you can rely on your Pulse Grenade to Jolt, but having a weapon in your heavy slot to Jolt is huge for Overlord champions. check boom slang rolls. You should be rolling in them. If you've been grinding the portal, you should be rolling in this linear. Do not delete if you get jolt and feedback. Artifact mods are on screen. I'm not going to go too much into it because the video is already long enough. Those are what they are. Pause the screen, pause the video. You can pause it and then just quickly copy them. Alright, so you've had that. The loot I got from it quickly. I got 3 tier 4 gear from it. This is what I got. A Mercury Air tier 4 bow. A Shoreline Dissident tier 4 sniper. And a tier 4 Alanis Morissette Aurora Dawn. And none of them were god rolls. See, this is what I'm on about. I've got this Alanis Morissette sword. Tier 4, yeah, right? Come to my tier 3. My tier 3 Aurora Dawn, Cold Steel Sharp Harvest, is better than this tier 4 one. You see? Why is it better? Well, it's better because it generates special, and it doesn't matter if it's tier 3 per se right now. Sharp Harvest is fantastic in the game. I'm just pointing something out. It's proving a point to you. Anyways, that was the build information. On with the run. Okay, so on with the run. So as we start, you want to make your way to the checkpoint marker. The game tells you where to go. Master Conduit is a fantastic mission. The level design is very well designed. The modifier is not well designed, and I'll point it out when it happens. But for now, let's focus on what we're doing. You're going to head down to this tunnel, and it says delve into Nessus. Notice checkpoint marker does not say anything about killing ads. So I guess we could skip these ads. Let's see exactly. This is my first time watching back, so let's see what happens. This, by the way, this was my first clear of the mission. My first try, first clear. So you want to take out the Vex digital enemies. When those seekers come for you, make sure you destroy them. You have less HP in this because of the modifier trade-off. If your shields are broken, you are dead. You need to play very careful. Right, here we go. Boom slang. Look at how good that is. It will jolt a champion off the free burst because this linear is an adaptive burst linear. This will stun overload champions. This linear is going to be it's going to be meta now. GM meta, Conquest meta, whatever you want to call it nowadays. This linear will be meta when it comes to overload champions. It sits in the heavy slot and you get overload rounds for free because that's what Jolt does. Pay attention to checkpoint. It says delve into Nessus, look. So I'm going to skip. I'm going to flip it to skip, look. Look, you don't need to kill any enemies there. And I don't think I need to kill the overload. I think I could have skipped there. But obviously you've got to be careful when you skip. Because if your shields are broken when you skip, you're dead. But you've got 4 revives. Remember, you got 4 revives bottom right hand corner. If you die, it's not the end of the world. You'll still res up, but you'll lose patience as a result. So, like I said, this was my first clear of the mission, so I'm doing things out of place, out of order a little bit. I'm not 100% certain on what I can tank, what I can't. I'm also not certain on where I can stand. Because right now I'm seeing, right, we've got a promoted sniper up top and a barrier that snipes. Bunch of enemies in mid, eliminate Vex. So there's no skip here. I have to kill these Vex, so I have to commit to it. But we want to establish on exactly where we're going to take that barrier and stuff. So this is why third iteration is so good for this mission. Because it will allow you to keep going invis. And invisibility is in fact also recovery. So what we mean by that is my shields. So my shields will regenerate. Yeah. As I go invis, because ads can't hit you. Well, they can hit you when you're invis, but less likely to. They'll target your last known location. So we get a good barricade up here. Now I'm starting to commit to this barrier. There we go. We whip out the pulse, the rocket pulse. Look at the damage it's doing. Ain't no rocket sidearm competitive to that. If you're still using Tinas, you're playing wrong. You need to put mint on. Although what I would say is, if you don't need to kill barriers, then put on. Say you need to kill overloads, but not barriers. Put on Tinas because it's chill clip. For sure, you can do. Depends what you run in your loadout. But if you don't need in the kinetic slot for overloads, and you can use overload in a different slot, use retrograde. Tina's has been power crept. Everybody, I don't know, some slow people knocking about. I don't know where he's at with that. You need to get mint retrograde. It is a pinnacle ops weapon. If you grind Kel's Fall, Whisper, any of the pinnacle missions, you will get mint retrograde. I have had 25 rolls by now, at least. I've been raining retrogrades. The game's been raining them on me, and I've read a lot of comments about people saying they can't get it. That's because you're not playing pinnacles enough. It must be. It can't just be me that just gets the rolls and you don't. People over-exaggerate. You've definitely had the weapon. You've probably just deleted it by accident, thinking it was a pulse, like a primary pulse, and it's not. Right, now I'm messing around with movement. I want to see, or positioning, I want to see where I can kill this barrier from, because he's the problem. Barricade goes up. Remember, barricade will soak up damage. Very important that we play with barricades. Very strategy based in this run. I don't know how many snipers you can tank before your shields break. So play very careful surrounding snipers. Very careful. If you get 2-3 sniped, your shields break, you're dead. You lose a revive. But what I will say is though, it's not the end of the world if you do down your run. Keep going. Keep going with the run because you got revives. In this case, you're just going to res up. Now, overload is aggroed. I'm going to get a barricade down and whip out boom slang. There we go. Look at that. I could have used my pulse, but I didn't quite have it. I didn't quite get it, did I? But look at that damage. Really nice damage. I mean, there's going to be better heavy weapons for like damage than boom slang. And also there's a better roll than this for damage. But we're not concerned all that much with damage. I just wanted to stun overloads and back up my special weapon DPS. That's really what it's doing right now for us, right? So check your boom slang rolls. That's what I'm saying. If you don't, you're going to have to improvise. I can't think right now what else you would run because I'm in the middle of commentary for this. If you don't have boom slang with jolt and feedback, but just rely on your pulse grenade then for jolt for overloads and run a machine gun. Right. The King of the North has been bested by a Carl Trooper. I didn't see him coming, lads. I've lost Flawless. There goes Flawless. Do you think I'm going to redo the run for that? No way, man. This mission's boring. Now, if this was Inverted Spire, I would have definitely went to Orbit and reset the run for Flawless. But, man, this mission's that long and you've got to play so passive. Screw it. We'll just take it on the chin. There was only one death in the run. What are you going to do? Shoot me? You're going to call me for not getting Flawless? Oh, man, I flawless the mission and you didn't. Are you losing your touch? I ain't losing no touch, son. That Carl Trooper sneaked up on me and I didn't pay attention to audio cue. That was my fault, that. Carl Trooper bested me, but at least I showed you the mechanic. Do you see how dumb this mechanic is? Do you see now how it's not well designed? It's not well designed for solo. Whenever they design this, like, what would be fun? Well, if players turn into a time-ticking bomb, that will be cool, and their teammates have to shoot them to come out of it. But no one thought, oh, hang on a minute, if somebody solos this, how do they get out of it? There we go. You can't super out of it, you can't do nothing. Unless there's some cheese, there might be some way you switch to the ghost, and there's be something come out. But this modifier is horrible. I don't want to see this modifier in any other Conquest again. If I see it again, like, I'm going to be reluctant to upload videos about it. You know, say the weekly GM is void trade-off, like this one. I'm just going to play slow then. Right, I'll just go for the clear. It is what it is. I'll just play slow. That's it. That's all you can do. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're just using third iterations supercharged shot. Third iteration did get nerfed, but when you're using it in high-end content, I want you to just use the high burst shot only. Because that's how you should be using it really anyways. But don't use the other fire mode at all. Look at how we're controlling the battlefield very easily with it. Keep going in biz. It's doing massive damage as well on that high single burst shot. So now I'll just whip out some special damage and heavy damage. Because look, I've got plenty of ammo for both. Now, people have been complaining about the amount of ammo they're getting. All I'm going to tell you is a lot of you aren't using exotic primary then, because I'm doing well for ammo in my runs. All my Lost Sector runs have been really good. I've tested the new ammo system. It's around about 10 kills to get a special brick and 20 kills to get a heavy ammo brick. That's a 130 weapon stat. So run high weapon stat. Solo high weapon stat is to be prioritized with either with a tier 7 health, with either high super stat or high class stat, depending on what you're doing. Like, the class stat is quite important for the overshield, and the more that you go over 100 stat, the more overshield you get. So if you run 200 class ability, you'll get a full overshield. If you run 150 class ability, you'll get half of an overshield. And overshields are very powerful. So what I said to the other day wasn't exactly right. You do want to aim for a high class ability regen on Crest of Avalurbi to a degree. But I don't think you need 200 stat points. I reckon you need 150, 140, 130. Around there for your tier 5 builds, tier 4 builds when we start getting there. But again, it depends. If you're on Curse of Fallen Star, alright, well then you want a super build for that. Depends what you're doing. But remember, that's not an Edge of Fate exotic. Crest is. So start building for Crest. When you start getting your tier 5, tier 4 armor sets, start building for Crest on Arc Titan. That's what I'll be doing. But then when we're talking about Consecration Titan and Solar Titan and all that, well then you want different builds for those associated to it. You're basically going to want multiple sets for multiple things. And you're going to want to grind a lot of armor for multiple things on what you're going to be doing. There's not one answer. There's an answer for different things on what you do. Now, this section's really slow. It's just harpies. It's just cyclopses. It's taken from a distance. What's the point in risking it? The whole thing, this whole mission is a long-range GM. I know it's not a GM, but let me just call it a GM for the purpose of the video, please. Just because I'm used to saying the word GM. So let me just call it that from now on, if you don't mind. Or what do you want to call Conquest? We'll call it Conquest, because I can hear you complaining about it. So, in this Conquest, it's all long-range engagement. It only really makes you push a little bit at the final boss, and maybe at this bit a little bit as well. Now, it's Hack the Conflux. Now, I didn't know what the conditions was for Hack the Conflux. And what I say by that is exactly what I mean. What stops the conflux? Well, we know from past battleground GMs, on the Capture the Ghost section, there are key targets that stop the progress. And funnily enough, this works exactly like that. And at the time of the run, I did not know that it works like that. I haven't run this Conduit mission for probably 6 months. I can't remember the last time I ran it, so I'm not familiar with this at all. So I was like, alright, let's just fight at the back of the map, because I want to lock in for the run. I want to see what I can do. So looking at progress. So I'm looking instantly left hand side. I'm getting progress. Nothing is lost. I've got a lot of Void Minotaurs to my right. I need to prioritize them. I'm going to use my cover. I'm going to use my barricade when I do it. I'll use my super if needed, because I don't know what champs are coming up. Are there barrier champs? How many overloads are there? Now look, we get joining allies. So for some reason at 30% progress, a Vex shield comes into play. The game's telling you it doesn't want you playing from there. But I'm going to use Barrier Scout. I'm going to see if it shoots through the shield. It does not. I'm just testing something on the run. It doesn't. So you need to push up. So now we're going to have to micromanage where we stand exactly. You need your positioning to be exact with this. Some people are going to have problems with this mission, actually. They're definitely going to have problems. Now, I'm going to use a super here. Now, I'm not going on T-Crash because I'm not on Curious and I don't have any T-Crash needs. No Thunder Crash needs are needed right now. And I was suspicious of that because I was like, I know there's going to be lots of ads in this because it's a battleground. That's what it's counted as, a battleground. It's a Vex battleground. So before the run, I was like, right, should I use Thunder Crash or Fist? And I was like, Fists. Definitely Fists, because the utility of Fists is that if there's lots of ads chasing me, popping a super with damage resistance is more important than using a T-Crash for more DPS. Because DPS is not our problem. Although it is a bit of a problem, actually, at the farm boss. But right now it's not. There's no DPS requirements. What's required of you is a utility super, and I regard Fist of Havoc as a utility super. In that case of a helpful super when you are solo. So now I'm controlling the battlefield. You really need to use those burst shots with third iteration and control left and right. Now there's lots of Hydras right hand side, so I'm going to fight left of the rock. I'm using my cover. Look, there's an Overlord Minotaur in middle. So the progress has stopped. Why is it stopped? Because that Overlord is the key target to stop progress. Look at Boomslang. Boomslang, 1 cycles the champ for me, which is incredible for this, because Master Conduit. This is going to be a fan favourite now for me. Or I'm going to be a favourite of this of this linear, because I always love jolt and feedback. Always search for jolt and feedback rolls for any weapon at all, ever. Always. Golden Rule. One of the best perks in the game. Easily. Alright, so we got the ads to our left. There's a Caltrops Trooper. That's what he's getting. That's what I'm calling him now. Charcoal Minotaur. He's in the coal industry. We need to get rid of him first. There's another Overlord Minotaur in middle. So what have you learned from this? You don't need to clear every single ad to succeed for this bit, but you do need to manage ads left or right. I have chose left. Notice how ads on the right can't see me at all, barely, because I'm sitting that far left. All the ads are aggroed on me left, but look, I can control it very easily. This has capped the entire ghost zone very easily. First time. I didn't know what was coming. I'm thinking on the run. Right, what should I do right now? What's the best thing to do? I didn't know what would stop the ghost. Overlord Minotaurs do. So what you can learn from this video is focus Overlord Minotaur. And pick right or left and make sure those snipers are down, because I don't know what you can tank snipe wise. If you get sniped 3 times and your shields break, you're dead. But again, let me remind you again, this does not need to be flawless. The Triumph says complete a Master Conquest. That's what we're doing. It doesn't say solo flawless Master Conduit with just a primary. It doesn't say anything like that. It just says complete. And you don't have to solo them neither. But people still do want to solo them, and they will. I foresee it's still happening. So this is the video on it. That's why I'm still doing it. So we'll get rid of these ads in middle. Look at the Screebs. I'm not taking any chances at all with them. I don't even think any Screebs hit me in this run. Maybe 1 or 2 did, but I wasn't risking it to see what they would. I'm not doing no damage resist tests in this run. I generally do with GMs. I like to know my GM back to front, left to right, inverted, vertical, portrait, landscape. I like to know my GM inside and out, what I can tank, what I can't. But with this mission, I wasn't risking it for nothing. I wasn't testing. What you need to understand is this has took 40 minutes off my grind. I could have grinded K1 logistics for 40 minutes. I've lost out 7 pinnacles for you, for the sake of you and you wanting this video. Well, you might not have wanted it, but you're getting it anyways. I'm just saying you've costed me 7 pinnacles now. Not only have I had to do a 40-minute run, I've had to do a 40-minute commentary. So what's that? 80 minutes. You've cost me 80 minutes of pinnacle grinding. Do you understand? This will send people to a drink this. You're gonna want a few drinks after this. After all the pinnacle grinding plus solo and this Master Conduit, you'll send you to drink. So I'm going to use a super because I don't know what's coming up. I don't know if there's champs. I have no clue. So I was like, I don't know how many more ads are going to be up. I do not know where to stand. I'm talking at the time of the run. I don't have a clue what I'm doing with this mission. So I just pop super. Fists goes in. I was like, right, let's do that. Now I'm learning on the run. I'm like, right, this room oval shaped. Yeah, I played Conduit once, twice, few months ago. So I'm like, right, okay, so there's harpies in middle, there's promoted ads. It looks like there's 2 barriers left and right, and they need to be killed to cap their plate that they're standing on. I can also stand left and right. Is there anywhere else I can stand? Where will I do DPS from? Etc. shields were getting weak there, and there was a lot of ads pushing me. I use my seismic strike to make sure I'm topped up on health, and I get a damn barricade down immediately. Now I'm starting to learn on the run. Okay, I can stand at stairs. I can strafe left and right stairs. Get sniped there by the barrier. Say, all right, that's the damage he does. So me assessing that, he done a third of my health. I can tank two snipes off a barrier comfortably. 3 snipes, I'm unsure if he can break my shield. This is all the stuff that I'm thinking about right now in the run. Screebs are coming. I ain't risking it for nothing with them. And I just want to rotate left and right between these stairs. Now I'm going to pop up and commit. Whenever I commit to a location, get a barricade down alongside it. Because that boss knows where I am. And I'm just going to melt with mint. I probably could have done a better rotation on these champs. Like, you know, do jolt and feedback, then do a bit of fire iteration, then swap to mint for elemental horn and damage, and then save on ammo. But I was like, no, I'm not doing all that. Let's just play it safe. I've got 12 shots. I don't know what damage I need from the boss. Like, I don't know how much ammo corresponds to what I need to do right now, but there's ammo in middle. Be careful of counterfeit. Counterfeit will get you weak, so we need to establish, like, what bricks are in middle, what bricks are fake, what bricks aren't. So I recommend to you every phase you run into middle, set off the bricks just to be prepped on that, because you're going to go into middle for ammo later on. If there are too many counterfeit bricks in middle, you will die to that stuff. Prep. Do your prepping and your planning mid-run, mid-phases where there's no ads up, because it's just you and the boss. That is the best time to do prepping of the room. Prep everything. Do everything right. 2 plates are capped left and right. So what happens now? I wasn't sure. All right, so you get these, what do you call these? These digital cubes up. Now, I didn't know where I was going to DPS from. I didn't know where the boss would go. I ain't watched any videos on this. All I knew was that you do die from the modifier. I had heard about it, that you do. But that's all I knew. I didn't know how this boss works. I didn't know where you DPS him from. Because yes, I'd done this 6 months ago, but I couldn't remember this boss and where he stands. So I shoot down the cubes. I'm like, right, let's get ready for DPS. Time right hand side, 45 seconds. So I'm like, oh. And then he ports to middle. And then there's ads on top of me. So I'm like, oh, this is risky. I can tell you right now. My shield, I'm half HP. Few more shots, my shield break, and I die. I know I've got 8 revives and it doesn't matter all that much, but I was like, no, I'm not dying again on the run. I've already died once. I don't want to make a mockery of myself. So I go to back. I'm thinking right away, right, where I should DPS this guy from is back of the map with Crest of Lupi, with a bit of linear damage and retrograde, and that's what I should do. 10 seconds of damage left hand side. Damage starts to creep up better at the back end. But obviously at the front end of damage was not good because Minotaurs spawn on my location. So I learned from this first phase. And what I learned was, yep, that wasn't good. Because I didn't know the boss would spawn at the back of the map like that. So I use a good Fist of Havoc in middle like this, look. Because I know there's a ton of ads there and it was just a good pop. Because I'm getting damage resist, DR. I don't know what the DR is right now. After the Edge of Fate reworked the entire game, I don't know what damage risk you receive in Fist of Havoc. Maybe let's have somebody down below tell us right now. For once you answer one of my questions. What's the damage risk of Fist of Havoc right now in this mission for me? I'm not working. You want me to do everything. I'm not doing everything. I'll solo the mission for you, show you what to do. But somebody give me the numbers. I need a D2 scientist. Some of you want me to be the scientist, the rocket scientist, the radiologist. I'm the solo operator. I'm this and that. You want too much. Somebody get the maths out. Get the figures out. What's the DR? I want to know it. So look at what happened. I had to do there. I had to juggle the ads there. Spark of Focus is saving the run. Because I'm not knowing what to do exactly at every time. But look. Spark of Focus. Those 3 Titan mains that told me last week not to use it. Come and see me now and talk to me about it. Why you don't think it's good? Because I've just showed you there, right there, on how I'm strategizing barricades when I might be out of position, and it's saving my life. See what I'm saying? So I can pop a barricade, do a bit of ad clear, pop a barricade, do a bit of ad clear in different locations. Pay attention in this run, especially this bit, on when I'm running to get my barricade to relocate myself. So I'm in a bit of a trouble here. I'm using the stairs. I recognise from phase 1 that's a good spot. A lot of screeds in middle. That was a bit of a worrying factor for me. I probably worried more in this mission than what I needed to, definitely. Double void resist definitely did make this a lot easier than what it could have been. This could have been a lot worse for me. Like, if I'd ran the wrong resistances, there's a couple of times where I probably would have been more risky than what it was. Obviously, my shields didn't break once in the boss fight, did it? Because I locked in and knew that I can't have that. Mint Retrograde will not pierce a Hydra shield. It's bugged. The Hydra shields with special weapons, like, you know, we had that in the past with Tina's and the Call. It doesn't bypass it. But third iteration does. That's an important note. Primary weapons will pierce Hydra shields. Special weapons don't. Although if it's a barrier sniper or something, we don't have barrier sniper. But if it's barrier sniper, it does. But long story short, Retrograde does not work on Hydra shields. That's it. That's the point. I got blinded there. This boss is from Inverted Spire. Or he looks similar. He has the same attacks. Similar attacks. He can blind you on a plate. I could have fell off map there. Again, let me remind you, there's 8 revives. So if I did fall off the map, it's no big deal. But what I will tell you is, if you're on 2 revives here at the final boss, there's no champs. Oh, sorry, there was 2 champs at the start, wasn't there? But after that, there's no more champs, I don't think. So you're not going to be able to get more revives. So be careful on this bit. If you're on low reses, you got to be careful. Alright, look at that blind that goes out. I'm managing my health at all times. Now this is where more optimizations are going to happen. So I'm going to push up in middle. And my plan, I have a plan now. Phase 1 didn't have a plan. Phase 2 does. So I'm waiting for the boss. I was like, is the boss going to port? Because he's taking ages. He does. Barricade goes down. And now I'm going to do a bit of damage with Retrograde Elemental Horn times 2. Bottom left hand corner. I should have jolted the boss first, but I'm not too first, as I'm, learning on the go. I have jolted the boss, and we have 20 seconds left. Now I'm thinking on what I'm going to do here. Oh, it's not this phase. Yeah, it's the next phase where I do the next thing. It's all right. So I just chose to do barricade damage. That's it. Oh, no. Let's see. So, yeah, I do go in with super here. Let's see if I do some damage to the boss. Let's see. First time watching it. Yep, we get some nice loyal fist damage in just before the shield goes. That's good, that. That's done 2 things. It's confirmed the 4 phase. So I'm definitely going to solo 4 phase now. Because I popped super at the end. There was 3 seconds left. And I got fist damage just in time. And clear ads in middle. See how good that was? Really good. It was. And remember, you can't use Curious T-Crash. Which I know would be the better choice. Well, actually, it wouldn't be the better choice. It would be for DPS, but Crest is very good for just staying alive and not having your shield break. So, yeah, Crest is like meta, but now it's really meta for this mission individually. Because it's like, well, if your shields break, you die. So what do? Well, we tank up ourselves even more by having an overshield when we pop barricade, and means I've got more health. I'm making up for the mod. That's exactly what I'm doing. Now, this is look at this gameplay. I'm going to commentate on it better as we go, but I'm using left-hand side because left-hand side's cleared. Left-hand side, look at that. So we're going to keep rotating between this pillar. I'm working out a strat. I'm like, well, there's a lot of ads in mid. Can't push too much. I've got no super. I haven't got a machine gun on, which I would have preferred a machine gun, really. That's what I would have preferred for the run, actually. But I do like the linear. I do like it. But for this bit, so look, I'm using Spark of Focus. So I'm doing a bit of ad clear then. I'm pushing up, and then I've got my barricade for the next time I'm going to use it. Okay, so now I'm going to push up because the ads have finned. I've finned the herd. There's a Screeber in middle there. A lot of Screebers, 6-7 Screebers. Not taking any risk of anything. Go in Viz. That de-aggroes all the Screebers. That's another reason why I've got third iteration on. Because it just de-aggroes a lot of ads. It allows you to really control the battlefield. I mean, this is Wishender, Graviton Lance, combined into one weapon. It doesn't do the good amount of ag clear as Graviton does, not as good, but it has much more control over the battlefield. Like as a person, you have much more control of with ads. This will be nasty with Void Volatile Hunter. This Scout Rifle. It would be really nasty with that. You'll keep getting volatile rounds. Alright, so Hydras on this phase. Like I said, I'm not going to use Retrograde. I mean, I will if the timing's there. I will use it. Or I might even use the linear. But it's not a problem just to prime them down. But there is a lot of ammo in middle now. So I can definitely strategize a lot more special on these targets if I want. But my positioning is more important right now. Because the Hydras are doing area effect damage. So I'm paying attention to health. But I'm tanking a lot. That's because of Void Resist. That's one reason. So I'm tanking quite a lot. So now we can start dealing with the Harpies in middle. There's a Carl Trooper at back. 2 Harpies. So I need to get rid of them. Because I don't want to be stepping on that stuff. I want nothing to do with it in this mission. So do you understand what's going on with this mission? It's completely broken the mission by having this modifier on that where your shields break, you die, is a very bad thing. If this was on for GMs, it would be terrible. You can't play regular. Like if I could play regular, like I'm no problem. If my shields break in GMs or Conquests, it's not a problem to me to map rotate and stay alive. Because that's part and the parcel of Destiny 2's combat. When you're in endgame, your shields will be broken and you need to accept that. But in this mission, the opposite is true. If your shields break, then you are dead, that is it. And it's always looming over you that, oh, will my shields break? So it spoils the mission. I get weak there, look at that, and my shields nearly broke. It's very easy for that to happen. You can see that. Alright, so I went into middle, I'm prepping the room, I made sure that no ammo bricks were counterfeit. But look what I'm also doing. I've realised that Fist of Havoc actually does good damage against this boss. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? So notice how I've got better. Phase 1 was terrible, Phase 2 was a little bit better, Phase 3 is going to be optimised. Here we go. This is where Phase 3 comes in. I'm going to jolt the boss. That's it, he's jolty, good damage. Then Retrograde comes out. Barricades in middle. I'm getting good damage on the boss this time. Rewind, he's really helped me out. Yeah, look at how good rewind rounds was there. Then I pulse snared the boss. Then a loyal Fist of Havoc. My health is half. There's a Carl Trooper in mid. A little risky now, so I'm going to come out. Exit strategy. Then I'll get another barricade down. 10 seconds of damage left. Then Retrograde damage. This is risky. There's 4 Minotaurs on me, so now I'm going to start cycling around in middle, but while shooting the boss. Now, you're not telling me rewind rounds isn't good on this weapon. Couple of Titan mains again last week were upsetting me. Use Envious Arsenal. I don't want Envious Arsenal on, son. I want rewind on. I know it works. I know what it does. And I know that you can play very aggressive with this perk. It suits my playstyle. Whilst I like Envious Arsenal, and I'll have an Envious Arsenal one, and I will use it. But that's more for dungeon bosses. When you're playing on the go, Retrograde just works. You don't need to swap your weapons. Read the perk description. What does it say? Envious Arsenal. Weapon is reloaded when you hit a boss with other weapons. Maybe you don't want to hit a boss with other weapons. Like, I was under pressure there, Minotaurs, I didn't know where I could tank, so I backed off my barricade, and I was still doing damage, and my weapon didn't need to be reloaded. If I had to reload my weapon there, the Minotaurs might have got void damage on me, and my shields might have broken, and I'd die. I'm a realist, a visualist. Everything with me is, right, how is it exactly? Instead of theory crafting. Some people theory craft too much. Yeah, don't fall into the trap of theory crafting overly, like to a high degree where you end up making no sense. There's a lot of it on Reddit, a lot of it where people are theory crafting on. Oh, well, I think this perk's better than that perk because of this reason. But when you practically do what that person has said, they're wrong. And I hate that. I'm a practical person. So everything I'm giving you is practical advice, real world advice. None of this is Microsoft Excel stuff. None of it's Reddit nonsense. This is real world stuff that I've done in a day. See, I'm not a content creator. I'm a person that reports my findings to you. I'm reporting stuff to you. That's what this is. It's a report of an activity that I have done today. That's what this is. And that's what I've always done. I'm not doing content creation. I'm not reacting to anybody. I don't care about news articles. I don't give a toss about any of that. Is the game good? Can I do anything good today? Can I help somebody out? That is it. Those are the 3 questions. I don't care about Forbes. I don't care about all that stuff. I don't care about news articles. I don't care about politics. I don't care about that stuff because I'm not involved in this for those reasons. I'm involved in what I'm doing right now for things I enjoy, which is this type of stuff. Although this mission isn't ideal, and for the reasons I've told you, but Inverted Spy will be very good. It'll be a very good run. It'll be a very good mission to do, and I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm also looking forward to Grandmaster Whisper. That's probably my most look forward to mission. Yeah, that I'm very looking forward to doing that. I really am. So that's what I'm on about. Start supporting real people that do real things for you. Rather than this circus. We've had a circus act. Since March 2025 until this month, it has been a huge mockery on YouTube of circus act people giving you content, getting paid for it, may I add, and it's all been a load of rubbish. Just knock it off. Knock it off. Start supporting proper people. Proper people that give you proper stuff. That's what I'm doing now. I'm not watching big streamers anymore because they're just taking advantage now. I'd rather watch on Twitch a smaller streamer that will talk to you, yeah, and you can ask them proper stuff. That's what I like. Whereas you get a big streamer, they might know the information, but trying to get in touch with them is a nightmare. So I don't want to talk to them then. Just leave it. Pointless. They just waste your time. Let's not... Especially when you're busy, you will definitely get pissed off when somebody wastes your time. And it happens to me as well. We've got leveling to do. From 200 power to 400 power is a long grind. The last thing that you want is somebody taking advantage of your time when you want to find out how to level quickly, or how to do this, or how to do that. Stop watching circus videos. Start watching proper stuff. All the best to people who try to make it in this game as a content creator. It's difficult. Don't get me wrong, it's difficult. But, support those who help you the most. That's it. But look, that's the sort of the mission. Phase 4, no problem at all. Obviously, that was just learning on the go. I just wish that modifier wasn't active because I do like Conduit as a mission. That was a solo master mission of this. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.